following storm surge devastation that has left nearly 4,000 people displaced.
Today, the president will be traveling to Cape Verde to go and witness presidential swearing in. They are going to ceremony to go and climate ceremony. When people are dying, state of emergency in Keta, Ketu South, and then Anglong should be declared.
We are live on the ground as thousands prepare for a third night in makeshift shelters, with NADMO now ready with desperately needed relief items.
This is Top Story with Evans Mensah.
And Top Story is always brought to you by Vodafone. Together we can. Tonight, MPs from the Volta region are demanding the declaration of a state of emergency in Keta following the devastation caused by Sunday's storm surge that has left nearly 4,000 people displaced. Now, in the last couple of hours, Joy News reporters on the ground can confirm that the National Disaster Management Organization have now arrived in some of the affected communities with some relief items. We'll take you live there shortly as officials distribute these items and hear from victims who are preparing to spend a third night in makeshift shelters. But first to Parliament, where there have been anger among minority MPs who are tonight demanding a state of emergency. Here is the Keta MP Kwame Gakpe addressing the news conference in Parliament today.
Interior Ministry, nobody from the office, the ministry, go there to see how the people are faring. But today, they have the temerity, the locus, to come and tell us that tidal waves have been there forever, before this one, before I became MP. What is that? In fact, I'm highly disappointed in the leader for including that statement. Today, the president will be traveling to Cape Verde to go and witness presidential swearing in. When the people of Keta, the coast, are devastated, instead of a government who should take prompt action and visit the people, they are going to ceremony. They are going to ceremony to go and climate ceremony. When people are dying, emergency, state of emergency in Keta, Ketu South, and then Anglong should be declared. But here we are today. The relief items are supposed to be prompt and swift. Nothing is happening. And then we are raising these germane issues, and then you say that this has been happening long ago. This is not. In Keta, there are some community like Keji Copper, for more than 40 years, they haven't experienced this before. But now it's happening. That place used to be a debagram, social gatherings. As we speak, the whole place is submerged by the seawater. This is the magnitude of the issue we are talking about. So we need not to play politics with this. And then we are calling on the central government to give a swift response by sending relief items to our people. As we speak, we are housing some of the people in the classroom, in the churches.
I want to take it to Parliament now. My colleague Parker Wilson is joining me. Parker, so what we had there was a news conference, but in the chamber itself on the floor, this has been a major issue. There have been passionate, emotional appeals for help, emergency help, from some of the MPs from the area who have been speaking to it on the floor.
Thomas, it was pretty obvious that the members of Parliament from the Volta region were upset, in fact, they were incensed over government handling of the disaster that we are talking about this evening. In fact, they have raised concerns about promises without not being fulfilled from the Works and Housing Minister. And the fact that in March it happened, in somewhere in June it happened, and today we are talking about the same disaster. Clearly, government does not or would not want to address the plight of the people within the area. So the MP for Ketu South, Abda Jifagomashi, said that she's been speaking on this matter for quite some time now, and now she wants the president to hear her hear her cry and hear the cries of her constituents as well.
I went to those communities with him. I went to the same communities with His Excellency President John Dramani Mahama. And yesterday when I got there, those homes were all gone. All I saw were piles of blocks as remnants of what is left of people's homes. I imagined what would have happened if it was my home, because I live by the coast in Aflau. My house is not more than less than a kilometer from the sea. And I was terrified that should I have gone home and found my house reduced to blocks, what would I have done? I've heard my colleagues, and I thank them, but I want His Excellency the President to hear me too. I've been speaking. He can't say he hasn't heard me. I'm urging this House to stand by the people of Ketu South. Stand with us in this time of grief, in this time of devastation. Cold comfort never warmed any heart. What will warm our hearts is to see that indeed the contractors have moved to site, that indeed within the shortest possible time, the so-called place that has been found will have a temporary structure put up for the people to find a place to lay their heads. That warm food and warm clothing is provided for these people. Mr. Speaker, the most traumatic image that keeps me awake at night for the past 3 days is the one in which a gentleman is saving corn dough in a small bucket that belonged to a woman. How is that politics, Mr. Speaker? This is a genuine concern for the people who have assured that I stand here today. Mr. Speaker, please, may I appeal to you to use your high office to engage His Excellency the President on my behalf, that Cabinet must sit immediately and take that bold decision that the sea defense will start immediately. That is the only consolation. How traumatizing this has been for me in the 11 months that I have become a member of Parliament for the people of Ketu South.
And Parker, so that is the member of Parliament for Ketu South there. On the floor, though, there was a bit of heckling and anger at an intervention by a majority MPP MP who suggested that the people who may have been affected by this may have also contributed to the devastation.
It was surprising to the members of Parliament from the minority side, because almost all the MPs from the majority caucus added their voice to the concerns raised by the minority caucus. Even the vice chairman of the finance committee, Patrick Boama, called on government to make available the necessary funds for the construction of the sea defense project that they've been talking about. So it was surprising to them when the Akim Sedo MP, that is Kennedy Osei-Nyarko, raised a concern about the fact that the people affected may have contributed to the situation. In fact, yesterday, we had the MC for the area blaming the situation on fund winning within the area, which he says had contributed to the tidal wave. And so Kennedy Osei-Nyarko, being the MP for Akim Sedo, raised a similar concern. His defense was that he is a climate change expert, and he has a better appreciation of what is happening. And so in as much as we are raising concerns about the situation, we need to also caution the people from doing things that could trigger the disaster. We can listen to him.
Mr. Speaker, in as much as we all share the concern or the grave concern of our dear sister for such a major devastation that has befallen his people, Mr. Speaker, it is important for us as a people also to take much concern by the activities of our brothers and sisters living around the coastline. Yesterday, I had the opportunity to watch a picture that somebody had posted on one of the social media platforms. and you see the line of cheaper trucks lined up, that they are winning sun on some of these coastal lines. Mr. Speaker, some of these activities might not necessarily be at your area, but it has a serious repercussion. It has a serious repercussion. It has a serious repercussion.
Honorable members, why can't we be tolerant? Honorable members, please, let's be tolerant.
Mr. Speaker, it's a statement of fact. I'm not just speaking as a layman, just saying anything. Mr. Speaker, I'm speaking as somebody who has knowledge in climate change. I have studied to the highest level of climate change, and I'm telling you, what they do, that is causing tidal waves. And you must pay attention.
And Parker, so the heckling had continued. This had come to the floor. There had been the debate. How did this conclude? Was there a definite position that Parliament took on this matter? I may have lost Parker there. By the way, I want to take you to the affected area right now, because our reporters on the ground are confirming to us tonight that NADMO is just about beginning to distribute some relief items that they had secured. In fact, we can listen to Seji Amedowu, who is the deputy NADMO director, who himself was on the ground leading his team of men, assessing the situation, but also distributing whatever relief items they had brought.
So we have moved in with some temporary relief items, especially for those who have been displaced and are at some safe havens, to give them some relief for now, whilst we continue the assessment and come back later and give them the needed relief.
Okay. So which areas are we looking at? Because all the people we've spoken to so far tell us that they've not received any relief items from NADMO.
Yes. But as I told you from the beginning, what we normally do when there is an incident, we don't just rush in with relief. We try and first of all find out even what sort of relief do we need to bring immediately. Sometimes the people need to be moved to safer places, and it's the work of NADMO in collaboration with the District Assembly to get that done. So whilst that is being done, a quick assessment is always done for us to get some needed. So we've brought something that they will be using for the meantime. And as we understand, the reports we got from the district level up to this point is that the 3 districts along the coast have been affected: Keta, Ketu South, and Agnoga. And in all, it's about 13 or 14 communities as well. So we have quite some interim reports that we are working with.
And how many people are affected by this? We know Salakope, we told a little over 1,000 people are affected by this. So if you're looking at 17 communities, how many people are we looking at?
In total, we are looking a little bit below 4,000 people. A little bit, that's the report we got. Okay. But you see, assessment is still going on. And it will go on for quite some time, because there might be other people who have been affected who have not been captured by our men on the ground. So we know we are working with a figure of a little below 4,000 as of now. Yeah, we don't know whether it will increase as we get along.
But you are on the ground. Has relief items reached any of the victims? Because the people who've been speaking to tell us that they've not received anything from that.
Yes, I told you that when a disaster occurs, the first thing we do is to move in to do what we call search and rescue. And that is trying to move people to safer places. Then after that, we try and do a quick assessment of what they will need. And this is what our district officers and our zonal officers do. Then based on that report, we move in with what they need immediately. And we have come with some few items for them.
For the 17 communities, we're going to start distributing the relief items today.
That's why we are here. Okay. That's why we have some relief items for now, because we are still mobilizing. Because we have something in stock, we have brought that. And we'll still be mobilizing as we go on.
I want to take it live now to the ground. Maxwell Abagba is on the ground for us tonight. Maxwell, so you on the ground, you're seeing this all unfold. Has the relief item distribution actually started?
Yes, Evans. It started about an hour ago, and as I speak to you now, the distribution has ended here at Keji Kope. It has ended here, but a team that came from Accra is headed to another district, I'm told, Jita, to continue with the distribution. Now, the National Disaster Management Organization was led by the Deputy Director General, Sergi Sajamedonu, and they arrived at the Keta Municipal Assembly sometime around 3:30 p.m. They came with a truck filled with bags of rice, mattresses, cooking oil, cups, buckets, cups, and more. Now, there was a scramble for the items when they were being shared about 450 meters away from where I'm standing. That's the Kejiko Community Center. I'm told the relief items will be distributed to persons affected in the 3 districts. We're talking about the Ketu South Municipality, Anglo District, and then the Keta Municipality. And like I've already mentioned, the team has moved to Jita to continue with the distribution.
What about those who are still preparing for a third night in makeshift shelters? You've been interacting with them. You've seen the apply tonight. Give us a sense of how you're faring. Now,
in Salakope, in the Ketu South District, many of the people I spoke to told me that they spent last night on the shoulders of the road. Some of them have to go to adjoining communities to spend the night there. And today, we are here at the Keji Copper Community Center in the Keta Municipality. And this community center I'm talking about, just to give you a good idea of what it is, it's just about 4 or 5 single rooms, which have not been partitioned, and about 10 families, I'm told, live in this unpainted structure. It is actually not connected to the national grid. There's no electricity in there for the people, and that is where they're going to spend the night. Some of them have mosquito nets. Others told me they do not have mosquito nets. Just a minute ago, I had some of the women who live here, some of them who are actually cooking dinner here, yelling at some of the children to close the door because mosquitoes will feast on them if they do not close the door. I have one of the women here. Let me speak to her. You've been staying here for how many days now?
We stay here. We are now 4 days now.
4 days. Okay. Tell me, earlier we entered the room and you told me there was no electricity in there. I was asking the woman that where do you take your shower? And you were telling me that right behind the building, this community center, not even in bathhouses.
We don't have bathroom like that, so we go somebody's house and bath over there.
So you go to someone's house?
Yes.
Okay. The other lady was telling me that they sometimes bath behind the community center. Have you seen some of them bath in there?
No, no bath. When the rain comes, we bath here at night.
At night?
At night.
Okay.
We be from the morning to night, so we bath.
Okay.
So when you don't want to bath here, you go somebody's house, bath over there.
Earlier, when I spoke to some of the women, they told me that they have to sleep in mosquito nets, but sometimes with 7 of their children. How is that?
Is that?
7, they sleep in a mosquito net with 7 children?
Yes.
How many children do you have?
I have 3.
3?
Yes.
And all of them are here?
Yes, yes.
And where's your father?
My father has died, my mother has died.
No, I mean the children, your father.
Their father is not here.
He's not here?
No.
So you are the one here with them?
Yes.
Do you have light in there? When we entered some minutes ago, there was no light in there.
There is only one light over there.
Okay. So what is the living like here, and how many days are you looking at spending here? You're not going home because your house is still flooded?
Yes. The house is flooded, so that we stay here for 2 days now.
But they've distributed the relief items, and I saw you carrying some of them. What did you get?
I will not get anything about it.
You did not get anything? Why?
Oh, there's nothing. We are not doing anything. So we are so angry and worried.
Wait, you didn't get it because you didn't register or what?
You register, but if you come and see me before you will job and eat.
Ow, Madabia Matanade. And we are Oma, the Nakuda.
Emma Pudding.
Incanepo,
Near my former board, the car, bucket to the car,
Okay. 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 So I'm asking her about some of the items that she got that were distributed, and she just listed them to me. But she's saying that it is not enough. You have been here, away Lafia. Look at we
oh, I know me. I am from Valley.
Okay. Well, she says I'm asking her the things that they need here at this community center, and she's telling me that they need a lot of things because they don't even have water here. Echima Valley. Thank you, Nicola Nachia.
Anytime in Arama for my Vena Lenaki, I think I've done about here.
Okay. Well, she says because there's no water here, they have to go to the homes of people around here to take a shower. And because this place is flooded, you would have to walk through the tidal, flood that is here. So I'm just imagining how they're able to do it. Take a shower and then walk in this water before you come and sleep. Can I be let you Wow. Well, she's saying that after taking the shower, they have to walk through the tidal flood here.
Yeah, Maxwell, you say that they don't have potable drinking water as we speak right now at the place where they are holding up.
Okay. Well, she says they do not have portable drinking water here. So they usually go and buy sachet water from the roadside to drink. Earlier, though, about an hour ago, the Deputy Director General, Sergi Saji Amedono, actually came here with some personnel from the National Disaster Management Organization to find out some of their needs here at the community center. And he assured them that the things that they do not have, they'll make sure they provide to them. But it looks like some of them are still not satisfied with what they've been given so far. Earlier, I spoke to some women at the distribution ground, at the ground where they distributed the relief items.
Okay, Maxwell, thank you very much for that. This is a live account of the situation there in one community. And Maxwell, earlier, just to confirm, the NADMO Deputy Director says that you are looking now at 14 communities that have been affected. So this is just one of the communities that has now been served with the relief items, correct?
Exactly. This is just one of the communities.
So they have at least 13 more communities that will still need these items.
Exactly.
Okay.
Exactly.
Thank you, Maxwell. I want to bring in the chief executive for the Ketu South municipality, Maxwell Lugodor. Maxwell, thank you for your time here on Top Story.
You're welcome.
So there you have it. The NADMO officials are finally on the ground making the distribution. The key question, what we heard there from some of the affected people, they still lack potable drinking water. They still having to buy sachet water. What's the plan to supply them with water?
Actually, good evening to your listeners. And let me do this correction. It seems that your reporter is confused between the Ketu and the Keta. Where he's talking about is Keta. I am in Ketu South.
So in Ketu South, do you have the NADMO relief items there now?
Now we are all in Keta now. We are taking off the delivery now. As I'm talking, I'm still in Keta.
So you are with my reporter and the NADMO officials?
Yes.
Okay. So my question then remains, doesn't it? I mean, in terms of the supply of the water, potable water for the people affected, when would that happen?
Actually, my place, they have potable water. When you come here, their situation is far, far different from ours. Because our place, we are closer to the lagoon. We're able to pump the water from the ground into the lagoon. So our place is totally dry now.
So I guess the clarity is in Ketu South, the NADMO officials are yet to get on the ground there with the relief items.
Yes, please.
Okay. But isn't that a problem then? Because this is the third night, 4 days on, your people still do not have relief.
But apart from NADMO's relief, we put in our own things together to help them too.
Yeah, but that can be acceptable. I mean, yesterday when we spoke on this same show, you were categorical that 24 hours on, as of now, you should have the relief items in place for them.
Yes, the delay is from NADMO, and I don't want to blame anybody. They also have their challenges.
What challenges are these?
I don't know why it's delayed. They were also mobilizing their staff to bring over.
I mean, you've been with them all day. What have they told you? When would the relief arrive for your people?
I just it's a challenge. So I'm still even here in Keta as I'm talking to you now. They are now taking distributing according to their district.
And there are 14 of them. The NADMO deputy director told us. How many communities in all are in Ketu South where you are?
I have 4 or 5. 5 of them affected.
5 of them, and we are talking about today. They've only managed to serve at least one little community. That leaves at least 13 more, including 5 in your area. Are you taking any of the relief back to them at all?
Yes, of course. What is happening is that they are using Keta as the center for the distribution. So as I'm talking to you now, we have Anglo DC is also here, and the Keta MC is also here, and myself. So they are now giving us according to the district. So we'll take ours straight back to Keta South.
Yeah, I mean, but as you speak tonight, that there's no guarantee, right? I mean, that you'll get enough for your people, which is your concern.
It's part of the concern. We are managing it.
I know you're managing it, but think for a second. And you've been there. You've seen the devastation. Yesterday you described it. People sleeping in makeshift tents without water. Okay, so they have water, food, etc. for 3 nights without any relief. You're still struggling to get the relief. That definitely is not acceptable.
This is a natural disaster. It's nobody planned for it. So we are appealing for everybody that can be of help. It's a natural disaster. Nobody planned for it. You know how the whole thing happened.
I think most people will agree with you that yes, it's a natural disaster, but many will disagree that after 4 days without relief is unacceptable.
Okay.
So your people are listening to you. What assurances can you give them based on what you've been told?
I am going to assure them that we are doing everything possible because from here, I'm not going to sleep. I've already called our assembly members that to be at their points and meet me and see what we can do. I feel for everybody. They're also human beings.
Are you overwhelmed by this?
Of course, I'm a human being.
The regional minister, what are they having any conversations with you about? Is the central government intervening? Are they bringing anything, and when? Beyond NADMO,
yes,
I mean.
Yes.
Okay, Maxwell, thank you very much. He's the chief executive for the Ketu South area there, where he says at least 5 communities there have been affected also. I want to bring in the chairman of the Volta Caucus in Parliament. He's also a member of the Works and Housing Committee. He's also been in Parliament today asking the House to do more to push government to act. Mr. Bedra, your reaction to what is unfolding tonight. NADMO is on the ground. In one community, they are serving the community with relief items. But as we just heard the Ketu South member of Parliament, he still doesn't know when his communities, 5 of them, will get relief.
Evans, good evening. Thank you so much. I want to use this medium to thank all the media houses that have sustained this campaign to get government ready to support the people, both in Ketu, South, Keta, and Anglo constituency. In fact, it has been a worrying situation to the extent that today we have to make a statement drawing the attention of government to the plight of the people. And therefore, I want to, on behalf of the Volta Caucus, thank all the media houses that have sustained this campaign. It's not over yet. We still want relief, just as you heard from the MC from Ketu South. No relief has reached them yet. They are waiting for relief after 4 days. And therefore, I believe that by the close of today, Ketu South people will also have something. Anglo constituency will also, the whole affected communities will have something to do. But we are not satisfied, Evans. It is just a tip in the iceberg. We need more to be done than this. I mean, if you are talking of relief items and there's no tent, tent that will accommodate people to sleep under. Just as I told you yesterday, people are sleeping in a church, premises. And yesterday there was a revival, and so they did not allow people even to sleep. They were waiting for the church to finish before they were allowed to go and sleep. I mean, this is in the 21st century, and we're not able to, we're not able to do anything with the situation. The early warning signals were all there. People, this is not the first time. I heard one of your colleagues this morning asking the regional DADMO director whether they were not aware, since we know it's a natural disaster. These early warning signals were there. Far back in March, something happened. And one of the colleagues also pointed out to them that they had 10 days ago, there was a similar issue. So why were they not prepared?
And very quickly, this is an emergency situation. From what we're hearing from the MC for Ketu South, you could see the desperation in his own voice, and he's overwhelmed by it. He admits that. As members of parliament yourselves, confirm for me, what is it that you're doing to mobilize support for your own people?
Well, Evans, we'll be going there on Thursday. The speaker has directed.
Isn't Thursday too late?
Well, we are mobilizing. We are not only mobilizing for food. We are mobilizing blankets and other things to go. So we are calling on benevolent spirit and many people who want to help us to also support us.
Thank